Hello, VC. Eric here, back on a Monday. Plastic Soundwave Cult. I messed that up completely.
Hey, gorgeous. Welcome to another Thursday Collection Connection, the game that's just an excuse to talk about music. I play with my brother, Plastic Eric, from the Plastic Soundwave Cult channel, and his responses are on Monday. Mine come on Thursday, and it's really just an excuse to talk about our music. And so today's connection is a lot more about context, so I'm going to see how much I can smash out here in my 5 minutes and still talk about the music a little bit. The crucial thing here is that the way I consume my music is entirely through my iTunes library. I import all my discs and then I play them. I can send them through the phone or through Sonos speakers through the house, and some variation on that has been the case for years now. And I am a junkie for the stats, the playback stats especially. And so I have Coldplay. Eric's last play was Coldplay's debut, Parachutes, from 2000. And I have that, as well as a handful of Coldplay albums. But on the relatively rare occasion that I get an itch to listen to some Coldplay, I usually go for A Rush of Blood to the Head, which I still think is a phenomenal record, uh, or barring that, Viva La Vida, which I think is their second best record. And so I was thinking, even though Parachutes is a pretty good record, I was thinking I probably hadn't listened to it in a very long time. And so I was trying to cook up a connection that was based around how long it had been since the last time I played that album. But when I looked up the stats, it had mostly been played in 2016, which is not super recent by any stretch, but not as long back as I thought it was going to be. However, one song had one playback, and that came on June 22nd, 2008. I hope I got that date right. And um, so it had been played one time, and it had been played one time on June 22nd, 2008. And I noticed that when I sorted my whole iTunes library by playback date, I had two more actually, but one to make a connection with, songs that had exactly one play that had come on January 22nd, 2008. So for context, I was in my 30s the last time I played these songs. And that is a song called, I believe the song was Falling Free. And the album is Flesh, and the artist is David Gray. So we got a fairly ugly album cover here. It's unfortunate. So the way I came to David Gray is that in 1993, perhaps 92, I saw a Kirsty MacColl show at the Blind Pig, excuse me, in Ann Arbor, Michigan. And the opening act was David Gray, and he was there supporting his debut album, A Century Ends. And we have a pretty good track record of picking up the music of the opening act if we like it. And I liked it a lot. It was actually a favorite record of mine at the time. And so I followed him through his first three albums, and Flesh is his second album. And I thought there were kind of diminishing returns as we went. That timer doesn't count against me because even now, there we go, even now we have focusing issues. Very frustrating. Anyway, so I was a fan of David Gray's before White Ladder, and I was about to give up on him after the third record of thinking, I just don't like anything as much as the debut. Um, until a friend of mine came back from Ireland saying, "Hey, David," said, someone who I had introduced to David Gray, said, "You got to hear this new David Gray album. You know, it's fantastic." And he had a jump on the general populace, especially in America. Weirdly, White Ladder is the best-selling album of all time in Ireland. Who knew? Uh, but Flesh came out before he was a big star, and it's got some good tracks on it. What Are You is a great opener. Coming Down is a nice kind of momentum gaining song in a big sway, kind of one of the 6/8 boom, boom. That's very nice. But for the most part, the connection made is why I picked the album, and while it's good, and I'd listen to it again. So now both the Coldplay song, it was the last song on the Coldplay album, and Falling Free, both have their second playback stat, and they came this week. So that's fun. And but yeah, I picked it less because it was a favorite. Love his first album, love White Ladder, but it does still have some good stuff on. I have no idea where my time is because I had to cut out a chunk because the camera's driving me nuts again. So with that, I will pass it to Eric. Flesh from 1994, David Gray, and yeah, that's all I got. Anybody else who was watching? Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.